Hello and welcome to Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trainers TV, and it's part 3 of our Save Money Motoring 50 Cost Savers compiled by Car Mechanics magazine. So we're going to look at today numbers 21 to 30. So number 21, before the MOT test. So the MOT test is an annual test for cars 3 years and over in the UK, and once the car gets to, I think, 40 years old, it's MOT exempt. But if you are an enthusiast of a car 40 years old or more, you probably will still get the car MOT'd just to check its safety. So, before the MOT test, number 21. Always check your car for obvious failures such as blown bulbs, worn wiper blades, empty washer bottles, and so on before an MOT. Many testers will do minor repairs like this while they have the car, but they'll almost certainly charge maximum parts retail price as a means of covering their labour and stocking costs. That might be a fair bit more than you can buy them from anywhere else. Number 22. Join a club. Many assume that make and model Pacific car clubs are relevant only to classic cars. Not so. There are online clubs, forums and support groups for pretty much every car on the road. Most are free to join and offer hints and tips from other owners. If you've got a problem with your car, it's likely another owner has had it before. Though, as always online, you do need to be wary of armchair experts who think they know more than they do. And another benefit from joining a club is the sort of social aspect as well. I've been in a few clubs since I've had my cars. I've been with the Ford Focus Owners Club, I've been with the Yaris Owners Club, I've been with the Skoda Owners Club. And it's a great online community, and it's also a great opportunity to meet people as well. Some car clubs have run stands for shows like Ford Fair, or might hold a camping meet where they go out for drives. So it's also a great opportunity to go and meet people as well. And it doesn't have to be about the car. You can build long-standing friendships just by attending some of the social aspects of the club. Number 23. Talking rot. Today's cars aren't the rot boxes they once were, but they still rust, and repairs are inevitably expensive. Frequent washing and inspect the paintwork and underbody will rectify stone chips before rust gets a chance to take hold. Anti-rust products are money well spent. Typically the job may take a dirty weekend of the other sort and cost perhaps £50 to £100 in materials. But it will keep your car in better condition and quite possibly enhance its resale value. And in regards to that as well, there is a video on the channel of me just wax oiling my Nissan Qashqai at the time, a couple of years ago, just in preparation for the winter. Because the Nissan Qashqai suffered from, I think the subframes seemed to take a lot of rust. Seem to rust quite quickly. So if you're looking to maybe under-seal your car, why not check out that video, and I'll possibly try and get a description in the link below. 24. Most people know that a car engine is most fuel efficient when fully worn, but many that are past their first use never reach that point because the thermostat is stuck open, and a non-expert driver may not know that anything's obvious. Telltale signs include, obviously, a temperature gauge which never reaches the normal midway point, and a heater which seems cooler than it should be. This can easily cost you 3 to 4 miles per gallon. And I'm going to use my old Rover 75 as an example. My 75, when I had it, never seemed to reach operating temperature. It always sort of seemed to be hovering between 40-50 degrees. Never got up to halfway point. And another bugbear that I don't like on cars is most modern cars nowadays don't have a temperature gauge. Take for example the K12 Nissan Micra, also take the C4 Cactus. They don't have temperature gauges. And the Micra had like a little light that would come on blue if the engine was cold, and if it was overheating it would come on red. In regards to the Cactus, it doesn't have a temperature gauge at all. But you can work your way around this. You can get a tool called Ultra Guage, which basically plugs into your OBD port. And again, I'll link a video of me installing that in my 75. And it's also possibly going to be a video that I'm going to make for the Cactus as well in time. Just so I can keep an eye on the temperatures. Number 25. Breakdown benefits. Cancelling breakdown or recovery cover entirely is a false economy, but there are many choices these days and the price can also vary enormously, along with the type and level of cover. For example, some cover the member in any car, others the car with any driver. Bear in mind too that some car insurance policies offer breakdown cover as an optional extra or even free. This can be very cost effective, though the level of cover is unlikely to match the dedicated providers. Some premium bank accounts also include AA or RAC or similar membership as one of the benefits. Check this. There's no point paying if you already get it free. And in regards to breakdowns, it has been mentioned about the bank accounts. You also can find, if you do go on price comparison websites, you might be able to find breakdown cheaper with another cover like Auto Aid or Rescue My Car. Also bear in mind at Green Flag, you'll find that Green Flag would normally send out the local garage in the area to come and have a look at your car. Number 26. Fuel for thought. Petrol prices vary dramatically, but are still a poor joke and considerable savings can be made by diligently shopping around. A difference of a couple of pence per litre may not sound much, but the effect on a tankful is worth having in your pocket. And if your car can safely use the new cheaper E10 brew, do so. So here's my little fuel for thought. As you know on the channel, we have been going around garages, and we will be doing another garage video in August this month, looking at the prices of fuel, as fuel prices have come down. But just a little thought, if you're eligible, you can become a Costco member. If you're eligible and you meet the criteria like job wise, you can become a Costco member and you find that you maybe get fuel maybe 10 pence a litre cheaper at the moment. So that's just a little thought for you. 27. Car sharing. Here's another mind-expanding money saver. Car sharing. Let's face it, going solo is dreadfully wasteful. Perhaps a little selfish when willing workmates may be just as happy to car share, so slash fuel and possibly parking or congestion charges. Check out appropriate websites if you want to search further, but also double check that your insurance covers it. And in regards to car sharing, you may be working from home 3 days a week and going into the office 2 days a week. So you'll probably benefit from the 3 days a week by not going into the office by using a car. But if you are going into the office 2 days a week, why not, when car sharing, ask a colleague if they want to do 1 day and you do the next again day, or you do 1 week and they do the following week. Just a little idea. Number 28. The Great Cover-Up. Insurance usually represents a big chunk of a motorist's budget, but handsome savings can be made by shopping around come renewal time. Many companies offer tempting deals for new customers. Sadly, brand loyalty counts for very little anymore, so don't feel guilty about moving your business elsewhere if the existing deal doesn't satisfy you. And in regards to that, the best place to check out is comparison websites like moneysupermarket.com and Compare the Market for insurance. You might find you might get some great insurance for a year through the comparison websites, but the renewal prices are usually a wee bit higher. So then again, just go back on the comparison websites. An example I had was I took out car insurance with a well-known bank, and it was a great deal at the time, but their admin charges, like to change a car midway through a policy, it was quite extortionate. So if you're not planning on making changes mid-term, it might be worthwhile having a look at price comparison websites. 29. Pennywise policies. By reviewing your insurance cover requirements, you can usefully trim your insurance costs. For example, switching to a multi-car household policy, you can see the costs tumble, as can increasing your insurance excess. And adjust your mileage allowance. Speak to a specialist or broker first if uncertain. So we've done that, myself and my wife have done that. We were on a multi-car policy, I think, with Admiral for a year. And I think at the time when we took out the policy, my Rover at the time, was it Qashqai? It was the Rover. It was something like £165 for the year on the multi-car policy, compared to, I think, my provider at the time was looking for £360, something like that, to insure the car for a year. So it is worthwhile checking a multi-car policy. And again, if you're working from home, what is the mileage that you're doing? Maybe you were doing 10,000 miles a year, 12,000 miles a year by going into the office. Review that. Maybe you're only doing half of that now. Maybe you're doing 5,000 to 6,000 miles a year. It's worthwhile just adjusting things in the policy to see if the price can come down. And lastly on this part, number 30, facts on tax. This is having an increasing influence on the choice of car to run, as the allure of zero or low cost road tax is for many households simply too good to pass up. It is something you should factor in when choosing your next car, but be prepared to pay a price premium on the windscreen for the privilege. It depends on how long you keep the car. And in regards to that, here's a little thing on road tax for you. So my car is £20 a year to tax, but I wasn't initially looking for that car. I was actually looking at a Skoda Citigo. And the car I was looking at originally was a 2018 model. And I was astonished to find that the road tax on a 2018 1 litre Citigo was £165. But in my 1 litre Fabia, which shares the same engine with about 14 horsepower more, the road tax was £145. Somewhere in I think between 2016 and 2017, the road tax prices changed. So if you would find you maybe got a 2016 or 17 Citigo with a 60 horsepower MPI engine, it was going to cost you £20 a year. But if you went to a 2018, it would cost you £165 a year. Do you really need that newer car on the driveway when you could maybe have the same maybe similar mileage or just a little bit higher 2-year-old car, 2-year older car for £20 a year road tax for maybe £1,000 less? If you really are that bothered about the age of the car, then you could also consider a cherished plate. That's just a little thought. You don't have to buy the newer car. You can You can buy an older car and save money on the tax. So that is part 3 of our Money Motoring 50 Cost Savers, compiled by Car Mechanics magazine. We'll return in a couple of days' time with numbers 31 to 40 in this series. But as always, I'd just like to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV. And we'll catch you in a future video. Farewell.